This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
Welcome to the first edition of our 3-Mall weekly Wildcat Player Spotlight, as we're joined by K-State starting left tackle KT Leveston. KT, thank you so much for joining us on today's show.
Oh, yeah, anytime, man, anytime.
And before we get started, we want to tell you about our friends at Riverbank Brewing in Council Grove, who have made this new weekly segment on 3-Mall possible. Riverbank Brewing has collaborated with 3-Mall and Wildcat NIL to support K-State student athletes through an NIL partnership. The brewery is located on Main Street in Council Grove. It overlooks the Neosho River that includes a large outdoor patio overlooking that river with multiple TVs outside on that patio. You're going to find craft beer brewed in-house, many of which are made with Kansas-grown barley and hops. They also have beer you can purchase to go. So take it to your tailgate for K-State football. Take it home with you. Watch some football on Saturdays and Sundays. Featured beers on tap this week are the Golden Grove Cream Ale, which is a light and refreshing Pilsner made with Kansas barley, as well as the Rio Salado Mexican Lager, which is brewed with sea salt and fresh lime. And they don't just have beer on hand. You can also grab one of Riverbank Brewing's specialty cocktails, which includes a fresh squeezed lemonade with either vodka, tequila, rum, or whiskey, whatever floats your boat there. The brewery is open Thursday through Saturday with college football on one of Riverbank's mini TVs throughout on Saturday afternoons and throughout the day. So get on out to Riverbank, enjoy some craft beer in the beautiful Flint Hills, and support a terrific business that is supporting K-State athletes. I know the owners. They're tremendous people. They put approximately 2 years of sweat equity into building out the brewery. So please go check them out. You guys have heard me say it before. I know, obviously, from firsthand experience that Council Grove is an awesome place and Riverbank Brewing is an awesome place. I've been there, and it's in a really neat town in Council Grove. So go check them out, support them. They put a lot of time into this. And I know as a K-State fan, all of you listening, you care deeply about K-State athletics. And so I would be more inclined to say support a business that I know is supporting K-State student athletes. For more information, you can go to Riverbank's Facebook page at facebook.com/Riverbank Brewing or go to their website at riverbankbrewing.com. All right, let's talk some football, KT. So it's game week. What's it feel like? Does it feel like it's been 240 plus days since you played in that Sugar Bowl?
Actually, it doesn't. Just because getting back with the guys, we embraced the grind, through winter conditioning, spring ball, summer conditioning, and fall camp. It really doesn't feel like it's been that long. I was actually talking with somebody yesterday. They're like, man, it's really been 8 months since we played our last football game. And I was like, that is actually crazy. But no, yeah, it's exciting this week. There's a lot of excitement.
Well, what's it feel like as a player to finally be done, though, with that off-season grind and get to game week?
I would say a sense of accomplishment, just knowing that you gave it your all through all those different phases, and you get to just go display your hard work that you put in over the last 8 months this upcoming Saturday.
All right, you made the decision to come back for your sixth season at K-State. What was the driving force behind that choice to return?
I love K-State. I bleed purple. It's really funny because the guy from Texas, growing up a Texas fan, when K-State started recruiting, I didn't know where Kansas was at first. But whenever I came up here on a visit, I just fell in love with this place. And so after all the years of me being here, when I had that deciding factor to come back or leave, talking with the rest of the guys, we all made kind of a group decision, but internally, I kind of knew I wanted to come back and go do bigger and better things this season.
Well, a lot of guys, they just want to be done with school, right? They're ready to be done with high school or college or whatever their choices are. And here you are entering year 6. If you would have told the KT Leveston as a high schooler or even freshman year KT Leveston that you'd be going into year 6 of college, is that something you ever would have imagined?
No. If I would have told the younger KT, oh yeah, you're going to be going into year 6. No, yeah, I wouldn't even look twice at it. But it's it's really good because over my years here, like I've really embraced the academic grind, and like now, like I graduated my bachelor's in human development, family science, and I'm graduating with my master's in December with academic advising. And I mean, like, it's like amazing because, like, I mean, I've made like so many people like proud, and they've seen how I've grown over the years. And my family back home, they're like very proud of me for having like both my degrees, like, just really embracing that academic side of it.
Well, they should be. It's a tremendous accomplishment, KT. And that kind of hits on what my next question was going to be, because Coach Kleiman, he said in an interview this July that I heard at Big 12 Media Days that when he took the job at K-State, you were someone that had a lot of growing up to do. And he spoke in July about how proud he was as you transformed yourself into one of the best leaders in this program. Just how much have you matured over the past few years, and what has the growth process been for you at K-State?
It was, I had to kind of step back and do a self-assessment of like, my daily habits and like one thing, like we always say, is like bad habits die hard and good habits die harder too. And, I hadn't really I would say like, you're 18, 19, just getting in college, you're not really looking at the bigger picture. And I didn't take academics as serious when I first got here. And then after talking with Kleiman and Coach Rouse one-on-one, and both of them in the same room at different times, I mean, like, I had to like, really step back and like, okay, am I willing to risk my football career over being up all night or playing video games, like, rather than like, going to sleep, taking hold of your nutrition, like doing all the right thing, like doing all the right things right. And so, once I really embraced that, then it just became a good habit for me, like, getting in that extra recovery, making sure I go to sleep by like 9 or 10, doing my homework 2 or 3 days before time is due, or even like a week sometimes. And I mean, after a while, it just started paying off. Like I was like, oh wow, I'm done with all my homework assignments for this week, and it's only Tuesday. And then it just became like a habit for me. And then all of a sudden, boom, I was graduating. I was like, man, this feels good. Let me go attack this master's now. And now I'm about to graduate with the master's. And like both of them have told me, like, they're like, whenever they first got here to now, like they wouldn't have imagined me graduating with 2 degrees because of how I was acting. And that they're very proud of, like, how I took it upon myself to change my life habits.
Well, I mean, the classroom stuff, it's absolutely phenomenal, KT, to learn that about you, but also on the field, like, I guess I would have never known until I watched that OU hype video, the post-game OU hype video last year, and you had that line, and man, it got the juices flowing when you're in there talking about not wanting to be doubted. And then, like, you've been in a lot of those hype videos since, and seeing the videos of you at practice, I did not realize you had become one of the most vocal leaders in that locker room. Just how have you transformed yourself as a leader in the locker room as well?
I mean, a lot of the guys look up to me. They know I'm always going to, like, bring that competitiveness whenever we're in the weight room, like I'm always coming 110%. And then when we're out there competing, like in runs or even like in practice, like I'm always going to talk a little bit of trash, like, get the guys going. I just always had that competitive edge to me. And I like, I would say like, I'd probably compare myself to like somebody like Stone Cold Steve Austin or like The Rock, like, back in the WWE, like just whenever I yell and stuff like that, like you can feel like that bass and I'm bringing that juice, like to get everybody hyping. And those guys like really react to that real well. And so, I mean, like we start like, going back and forth and then like everybody's just all hype at that point. Sometimes like before we enter a weight room, like we'll like start a little mosh pit going on and like we're just yelling, getting all hype before we go in and we go and attack the workout. And so, I mean, I've just like really embraced that type of role. Like I would say starting out in my career, I wasn't really that much of a vocal person, but it just like, guys were always telling me like, guys gravitate to me. And so that's what I kind of took on, like, just like yelling and getting guys hype and showing them like, not only am I gonna like yell and get you hype, but I'm gonna go out there and do that work with you, and I'm gonna get the job done with you. So, you know, those guys like really embrace that role, like embrace the role that I have for them.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
College football fans, are you ready for week 1? DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple of years. Change comes fast. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Life's more fun when you're in on the action, so here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code KCSN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 years or older, physically present in Kansas. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
Well, I'm all here for the KT Leveston hype content and stuff on social media. So word to the social media team, let's get more KT sound bites out there because, man, you are awesome at that. Hey, how would you respond to critics that say the offense won't be as good without a Deuce Vaughn? We all know Deuce was an absolute phenomenal player, but what's your response to critics that say something like that?
I mean, like when people say like stuff like that, I just kind of like, you know, just look at it and shrug it off. Cause I mean, we know as the O-line, like what we're going to do, and whoever's back there running the ball is going to do great things. Will's going to do great back there. DJ, Trayshawn, and like, you know, many other backs we got, they're all going to do like great behind us. Cause we know like the team goes how we go. And I mean, like we were a dominating offensive line last year, and obviously we dominated the Big 12. And so we plan to be a dominating offensive line this year and just dominate college football.
How different are Trayshawn and DJ as running backs?
They both have their own little type of swag. Trayshawn's a little bit more swaggier. DJ's a little quiet guy. I mean, you never know where DJ's at because he doesn't really say anything. But I mean, like when he gets the ball, like, you know, he ain't afraid to like run right through you. So I mean, you couldn't hear him coming, but then all of a sudden you see him and boom.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get rolled up on sometimes from DJ because he might just crash into you, you know, and plow through. Yeah. He's one of those power backs. So, hey, I mentioned earlier, so you're a 6-year guy in the program. So is Christian Duffy, Hayden Gillum, Cooper's back for year 5. There's several other guys who are back as well for years 5 or 6 in the program at other positions. Daniel Green, Seth Porter, many others. Daniel Green, I think, called it Snyder Soldiers when we talked to him at Big 12 Media Days, that you guys have coined that phrase. But in the era of the transfer portal, what does it say about the culture that Coach Kleiman, the staff, and you guys as players have established in Manhattan to have that type of player retention and also guys wanting to come back for a year 5, a year 6?
I mean, like everybody always says, like, you know, the word family, but like truly, like this is a brotherhood like we have, because I mean, guys, like, you know, guys wouldn't decide to come back if they didn't love the people that were associated with this team and people that were on this team. And I mean, like in that locker room, just in the facility in general, like everybody truly has that love for each other. And so, like, you know, whatever we're going through, like, I mean, you could be going through something outside of football. You can go up to anybody and talk to them, and it could be like, you know, a good one-on-one conversation, and they can, like, you know, help relieve some of that stress off of you. So one person isn't just taking on the weight of the world. Like, you know, we all want to be able to help each other. So we're not like going into any situation, whether that's a game, a practice, a class, like, so nobody's going into anything stressed out. Like we all are able to talk to each other. And so that's like the true love of like that locker room. Like we all love each other.
What are maybe some of the biggest advantages, KT, that come with having the entire offensive line back? Do Do you save time in practice? Just everybody knows what they're doing, the cohesion factor, you guys know each other's roles, or, are you able to be more aggressive in game planning for something because there's a trust factor with you guys up front? What are some of the advantages of having the entire line back?
I would say some of the advantages is that we, as an experienced O-line, are able to lead a lot of the other positions, like, because we have majority of the leaders on the O-line, so we're able to, like, bring guys, like, especially young guys, along and, like, take them under our wing, show them how we do it the K-State way. And especially, like, our younger O-line, like, we're able to, like, kind of just help them grow, so that way next year when we're gone, they're able to step up and just, like, there's no, like, difference between play. I would say, like, we're more experienced, but we don't, like, still, like, take reps off or anything. We just critique, like, our reps. So, like, if there was a play, like, I may have struggled with last year, well, that's a play, like, I'm more focused on, like, critiquing my assignment on that play. And we want to, like, make every play to where it's perfection. And so, I mean, the guys, like, really embrace that, and Coach Riley really helps us with all that too.
How much different will the offense be in year 2 with Coach Klein?
It'll be like, pretty much like the same. Like, we were pretty aggressive last year, and we're still gonna, like, stay aggressive, but there's a little bit of nuances in there, but we're still gonna be a pretty aggressive offense.
What impresses you most about your quarterback, Will Howard?
Will is a dude. Like, since he first came on campus to, like, now, like, he's just a dude. Like, I mean, outside of football, like, you gotta love him. Like, his personality is just awesome. He's an amazing brother. Like, he just, like, he shows that he cares for you on the field. He's still gonna show that he cares for you. You make a bad play, he's gonna say, "Hey, I put that on me. I should have helped you out." And he's an amazing leader for this team and for himself. And I mean, just everything that he's been through with being the second string quarterback every single year, but then having to step up, like, has really, like, transformed him into, like, having that dog mentality. Like, he's not afraid of any type of challenge, and he's always going to attack everything he does, like, 110%. Like, he's going to give you his all, whether he gets 20 plays or whether he gets 80 plays. Like, he's giving you his all every single time. And everybody on the team knows that, and that brings a lot of energy to everyone else. And so then, it just elevates everybody's game and play a lot.
Just a couple more, KT, and we'll get you out of here again. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. What have you learned? What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from offensive line coach Connor Riley?
I would say don't be the hesitant squirrel. And, and so, like, what that means, and you can apply it in many different ways, but what I take from it is, like, I apply that more into, like, my football and my life, is, like, so the hesitating squirrel, you got a squirrel that runs across the street. If you hesitate and a car's coming, you're ran over. But if you go at full speed, attack at full speed, then you'll make it through the street without getting hit. And the way I apply that is, like, any challenge that approaches me, any adversity, like, don't hesitate to attack that adversity. Because, I mean, if you hesitate, then you just get ran over, and the adversity takes over you. But if you attack it, then that at the end of whatever that challenge was or whatever that adversity was, like, you will feel accomplished, and it would be satisfying knowing that you gave it your all to attack whatever was coming at you.
Do you guys feel any added pressure being the defending Big 12 champs and having that target on your back?
No, not at all. I mean, one thing, like, we always preach is, like, people say, "Oh, K-State is now being the hunted." No, we're still being the hunters. So, I mean, like I'm still hunting. I know my O-line, we're still hunting, and I know our offense, we're still hunting. Like, we have a lot Like, I mean, yes, we're defending champs, but we have a lot more to prove than what we did last year.
Any observations on your opponent for Saturday in Southeast Missouri State?
I mean, they're good guys. They played in the FCS playoffs, so I mean, they're a really good team. And we already told guys, like, you can't go into this game and overlook these guys just because we're a Power 5 team. Like, these guys they're a good team and constantly a good team. So, I mean, you go in there thinking that there's some scrubs, then we're going to get ran over. And you got to go in there looking at them like they're just as equal as us because they are. And so, I mean, we're going into this Saturday ready to give it our all, attack these guys like they just won a natty last year and win the game.
We'll end on a fun one here, KT. We've had Will Howard on the pod, I think 3 times now. And I think last time we had him on, he told us that he's a pretty good basketball player, but I think he said you are one of the best basketball players on the team. Can you confirm?
Oh yeah. I mean, when it comes to hooping, bro, I'm like that. Like,
What describe your game for our listeners? What kind of player would you say you are on the court?
I would say I'm a mix of like Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Like, I'm a big dude, so I can take it to the lane on you, or I can back you down either way. But whenever when you're guarding the lane up, I will hit it from deep. I'm talking about like 3 feet from the 3-point line.
I mean, do you want to give a tryout for Jerome Tang? I mean, after football's done, sixth year here, you've got an opportunity. Maybe you spend obviously you got an NFL future. We all think so. But I would love to see you out there with a workout with Coach Tang and staff.
No, yeah, Coach Tang, he's came to a lot of our practices and workouts. I've been kind of hoping, like, he'd be like, hey, I could use one of the football players to come over. And I'm like,
oh man, I would love to watch you hoop, KT. So, but I love watching you play on Saturdays, and I know all K-State fans do. Hey, we thank you so much for jumping on with us, being so gracious with your time. And again, we thank Riverbank Brewing and Council Grove. Go check them out, supporting K-State student athletes, supporting this segment and bringing this and making this a possibility for you. So thanks again, KT, and best of luck on Saturday against SEMO.
Yes, sir. Thank you.